Hey everyone, Mr. Mob Collectibles. So I just got in the new Marvel Legends Wolverine from Deadpool Wolverine, and don't get me wrong, I love this figure. There's something wrong, but there's something about it that just doesn't seem accurate, and it's basically him wearing the mask and the sleeves. And so there's already been a couple videos out there, but I thought I'd take a stab at it myself and basically show you the mod that I have done to basically give us what I think Marvel Legends should have given us. Now, there's going to be other companies out there that are going to be making this version with the sleeveless Wolverine, but nevertheless, I wanted to show you guys my version. Now, what I was trying to accomplish with this is one of two things. Number one, I didn't want it to hinder the articulation, but number two, I wanted it to look as good as possible. I didn't want it to look like it was modified. The other thing that I'm going to do on this, which you can choose to do or not, is I added metal claws to my figure, which I will show you that as well. So I really tried just to make the ultimate version of this final scene Wolverine, if you will, from the Deadpool movie. But like I said, there's a lot of great videos out there that showed how to do these, and the difference is that I'm going to do this with some more rudimentary tools that I don't think you need a lot of stuff to actually do this. Now, the one thing I want to stress first and foremost, if you don't feel comfortable actually doing this mod or having to buy another figure, I just want to recommend a website to you guys, 16thkit.com. They do a lot of aftermarket things like that, but there is an item actually up for sale right now on his website for a company that is actually making replacement arms for the Marvel Legend figure. I will link that right here and in the description below. Now, with the price that you see, that includes shipping as well, but if you use my coupon code SCRUNCHY, you will save $10 off. That is going to be for those that do not want to spend the extra money in buying a donor figure or doing the mod themselves and damaging figures. But for this, we do have a donor figure. This is the Deadpool, the Legends, I believe it was, Legacy. This is the Wolverine. This is my second one. I actually did buy this figure, and so I'm going to show you guys, this is where I borrowed the arms from. So pretty much I used a blow dryer. I'm not going to show you that stuff, but a blow dryer. I heated up the joints on this figure and was able to successfully pop the arms off, the left and the right, as you can see here. And just showing you kind of how this works. I put the heat gun around the edges, blow dryer. I do also have a heat gun, but you can use either or. And then you just give it a little bit of a pull, and this will eventually pop out. A little bit of a peg will break off, but that's not a problem. Like I said, and what we're going to be doing is, you see here's the arm. Now, there's this big, thicker ball joint right here. We're actually going to remove this. You don't need this on the figure. And what you're going to have to do is use the blow dryer and or a heat gun and heat up this portion as well and pull that off. And so you'll see here, I actually removed this, and this exposes the, the actual joint and stuff like that. So this is a key moment right here. This is what I think is preventing a lot of looks of the figure and not giving it that, the right, having the arm kind of tucked in on the shoulders. So right here, it does fit in pretty well. It's not exactly a perfect fit, but it does fit nonetheless. But as you can see there, the arm sags down. It doesn't have that like tucked up and in look that it should have. And so there's another piece that we have as well that you're going to need for this, and this is the black sleeve that goes obviously on the arm. When the suit was ripped off, you have the black sleeve that was exposed, so we're going to need that piece as well as kind of a filler, and that's going to go on the arm. So this is it right here. So I've seen other videos where people actually like padded out and like packed in the joint and stuff like that to make it thicker, but you can see here, you put this piece on and it rotates, it spins, and it fits okay. But then when I go to put this on, the arm it sags. You can see here, it just doesn't fit, it doesn't really lock in well, and it just doesn't look good. And like I said, in other videos, people have actually wrapped the peg like electrical tape or like packed it to kind of make it fit. I discovered something pretty interesting, and all you need is a knife. And we're going to do a little bit of trimming here. It does not have to be perfect because it's not going to be seen. This is for structural integrity purposes. So on this arm, there's like multiple slits, as you'll see here, and I'll show you guys in a second. Rewind this part of the video if I'm losing you. But you can see here, there's like these little discs on that arm, which are like the different points. We're actually going to take just a regular knife, And the first thing we're going to do is trim off a little bit of this, the joint itself. We're just going to take our knife and just any point here, and just going to whack off a little section. So as you can see here, I just whacked off a little piece. It does not have to be clean because, like I said, it's just meant for structural purposes. So now you're going to put this, see that there's these two discs there? What you need to do on the arm, you have to get this black sleeve over both of them, and that's a big deal. So when you put the sleeve on, it stops at like the first ring, I guess you can call it, but there's still like some meat left there that this sleeve has to go. It has to go all the way through this joint. So what we're going to do is just take like a knife and just bore out the hole. Just make the hole a little bit bigger. Just do it on both sides. Make sure you don't cut yourself or anything like that. You can use a Dremel, but like I said, assuming you don't have a Dremel, we're just going to take a knife, just bore out the hole, make it a little bit larger. As I said, just take a little bit away, try it, and then you can do it again. But like I said, bore out this hole and then fit it back on. And the sleeve piece should fit all the way to basically the arm, like right there. Boom, it cleared both, and it's nice and snug, as you can see. So now it's snug a little bit better. Now, when you put this arm on, you're going to actually hear it lock and pop in place. At least mine did. And when I did that, boom, watch that look. There you go. You saw it live. So that is, it tucks the arm in, and honestly, it gives it a damn good look. And I didn't do anything. I didn't do any mods. I didn't do anything. It's just a lot of pressure fit. And then, like I said, it locks in really well. And the articulation is not limited in any way. I have full articulation of everything. And it was just really that easy to do. You don't have to do anything else. I just trimmed a little bit off and it fits right in. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit different depending on which route you want to go. The next thing that we have to do is the gauntlet. That is something that we're going to have to take off. We have to take it off of the old arm. I'm going to remove this here, but here's the gauntlet itself. Now, this was a little bit of a pain in the ass the first time, and then when I figured it out, I got a better formula down. But as you can see here, there's like a little piece of glue or like a piece that's holding it in place. Honestly, just take a blow dryer or a heat gun. Don't melt it off, but just put a lot of pressure, just heat it up for a good 30 seconds maybe. Like I said, I used a blow dryer, and once it was pliable, I was able just to pop this thing right off. Like I said, it sounds easier than done, but like I said, you have to really heat this thing up so it's pliable, not to the point you're melting anything off or causing any damage. Now, you could slit this open if you wanted to, but I wanted it to remain seamless with no cuts. So that's what I did. I used a blow dryer on it. I heated it up, and then I just it just wiggled right off. A little bit of trouble to get it off, but I eventually did. All right, so this is what it looks like after heating it up with the blow dryer and popping it off, and there we have it. Now, the next portion of this, you are going to have to do a little bit of modding because the gauntlet does not fit on the forearm correctly. The forearm is a little bit wider, so it's not even going to be a close enough fit to even put the peg on for the hand. So what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to, basically what I did was Dremel it down. I took a Dremel with a cone-shaped bit on it, and I basically Dremeled down the inside of the gauntlet. You can see kind of how it just sits too low. So I'm not really shooting for accuracy per se, because I know the gauntlets are supposed to be a certain height up on his arm and all that stuff. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about the thing fitting right and it not hindering the articulation of the hand. So you are going to have to eat away at a little bit of this material. So like I said, I Dremeled out the inside of the gauntlet, and also I did Dremel off some of the arm itself, the forearm. Now, I also shortened it as well. So it's kind of three things I did. And if you look at the arms here, this is before I did any major modifications. You can see how one arm is slightly shorter than the other. That's just because, like I said, with the combination of drilling out the gauntlet, smoothing out the forearms, and actually shortening it a little bit, that did help me get it to a point where I was happy with it. You see there the differences. Once again, all this stuff you're not even going to see, but nevertheless, I finally did it, and this is what the final product looks like, which I'm happy with. Could they be a little bit higher? Of course they could, but once again, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me. I think I pushed the material to its limits where I was happy with it. Now we're going to install the gauntlets, the hands back on. Now this is a point where you can simply put on the claws that come with the figure, and you can see here the difference is just night and day. I think I just love the way the shoulders sit, the arms sit. I just love that whole look, and so I just love the contrasting designs that we have here with this. So like I said, you could take the stock claw and the hand that came with the figure and pop it back on and call it a day. You are done. If you reach this point, you're done. Congratulations, you have made a awesome figure that I think you're going to enjoy. However, if you want to take it a step further, like I did, because I'm crazy, I am installing a custom one that I made that has metal claws on it. So there is the difference between the Marvel Legends version and then here is the metal claws. So I'm going to show you how to do that. There really isn't any modding per se. You're just adding another component to this figure. But like I said, if you want to stop here and just use the claws and not put any more money into it, I 100% understand. These claws I had from other Marvel Legend figures, and so I will link the description of where I got those below. And it's a matter of installing those on the new hand and like I said, doing that swap. Like I said, just to give it an extra level of attention to detail. And so that's something that I really wanted to do because I had them sitting around. And it's like, you know, this is my ultimate Wolverine Marvel Legend, so might as well go all out at this point. You know, we got this far, why stop? And so here are the claws themselves. Like I said, I'll link the description where I got them. And they work with most of all Wolverine Marvel Legend figures. Now, this is a good example of one where it works, but it doesn't work. And what I mean by that is when you remove the existing claws, so we're going to take the hand here. This is the closed fist, and these are the claws that come with the Marvel Legend. They pop out very easily. You just bend them backwards one at a time, and they just pop right out of the housing. And if you ever break them, you just put them back in that way. But what you're doing here is when you remove these, it's actually, the housing on these are actually quite larger because the Wolverine claws with the design of the suit, he has those three housings on his hand, like from the comic books. I don't know what you call them, but they're those three knuckles or whatever you know that allow the claw to extrude. And so when you put the claw in, although it looks good, you have this gap on top, this opening, you know, this exposed hole. And that's where these these knuckle pieces are supposed to go. And they are on the original claws, as you see here. I'm pointing to them right here, these little nibs that the claws slide out of. I don't know what you call them, housings, knuckles, whatever you want to call them, you know, whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is, this is a mod I decided to see right there. I'm pointing with them. We're actually going to cut these off using an X-Acto knife. Just two little cuts, side cut and a top cut, and get rid of this little piece. And we're going to keep this and actually glue this to the top of the claw. And you'll see what that looks like when it's finished. So basically what I did was I glued the claws in with crazy glue, cut these little pieces off, and then I gently, with tweezers, I overlaid them on top with a dab of glue and glued them on to create that illusion, you know, that those pieces are there, and it closes up the look overall. And it was very easy to do. You just got to be careful because you're using crazy glue. Just a little goes a long way. And once you have those all installed, it looks fantastic, I think. It just adds to the look overall. Once again, this is something you do not have to do. It's just that for me, I wanted to go a little extra with it. So here we have the final product. This is what Marvel Legends gave us, which is awesome. It is great. It is something awesome, but once again, this look just doesn't jive. It's not cohesive to what he looked like in the movie. And here is the finished product of the modified version. Once again, we took the arms from that legacy version of Wolverine, swapped the arms, and then just the claws, we added those in as well. I think that the mod, I'm not handy by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it was a very easy mod. I saw others do a lot more radical things. I think the look is great. I think it looks great with the traps, the shoulders. It looks awesome. I think it looks proportionally good. Could I have gone further? Of course I could. Raised the gauntlets up, did stuff like that. But listen, I'm going to have so much fun now posing these figures up. And even here with Deadpool, they just look really awesome. These are the figures that we should have gotten, at least the Wolverine. But I know there's going to be other companies making these and making alternate versions, SH Figuarts, Mayfex, Diamond Selects. So there's going to be a multitude of Wolverines, Hot Toys, 6 scale. So there's going to be a bunch of versions of this character coming out. But until then, like I said, if you guys don't feel comfortable doing these mods, check out the links I provided below where you can pre-order those arms already done from the company from 1/6 Kit. That, like I said, use my coupon code Scrunchy, save $10 off on that. So it's $25, it'd be $15. If you're someone that does not want to modify your figure, you can definitely get that as an alternate option. But I hope this did help you guys out. I feel like the mod was very simplistic. I feel like it was something that really didn't require a lot of, strain or effort. It took me maybe an hour total to do everything just to make sure I didn't mess anything up. So, and I hope, if you have any questions, definitely drop a comment below. I hope this helped people who want to do this modification. Like I said, I've never modded figures before, but I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm really, really, really happy with the end result. So, like I said, I appreciate anyone watching. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing. And until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectible saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.